Yeah, I didn't keep it.
Okay. Welcome to Third World Linux.
Yeah, welcome
episode
to Third World
51,
Linux.
52.
The new 52. If we'd been doing this consistently every week,
we could have been 52 by now.
it would have been like a year.
But no.
We've been very bad about getting these things out on time. Although we've been getting better at it, though.
Yeah.
Like I would think, every other week.
We managed to stay consistent, at least for an every other week release. And it holds well for our schedules.
Oh, I'm Joao.
My name is AG.
And welcome to Third World Linux, episode 52.
The new 52. We've been consistent every kidding aside.
How has your transition to Firefox been?
Here's the thing. First is one of the things important to me is integration, right?
Yeah.
I like integrating my devices
because
and whatnot.
you were an IMC major, so you integrate as part of the first part of your course. You integrate, market, and communicate.
That aside, doesn't sync to my phone, to my Firefox OS. I don't think it's the fault of the operating system.
Yeah, because like it's still like super early days, and you know what? Continue.
No, it's exactly that. It's early days. It's okay that it's not syncing. I don't have any bookmarks in particular, like important that I need to have access all the time. And the phone pretty much is not good for browsing. It's just good for calls and text.
Yeah.
And it's such a bad phone if you have two SIM cards. Like, I don't know if in the first world they have that, like the dual SIM card phones.
Oh, dude, like the US, they don't even have SIM cards, right? Like,
oh, yeah.
Like they don't do the whole GSM thing. They do CDMA or whatever that is, which is like... Anyway.
So, here in the third world, most of the time we have two SIM cards.
Yep.
And as we've discussed before, Firefox OS is awful if you have two SIM cards.
Yep.
And doesn't work really well. So there's that. And another thing, I kind of like Firefox now.
Yes.
I've integrated it in how I work.
Yeah.
I mean, I prefer... I like, for me, there's still no beating Google Chrome. But, I don't know, there's something I like, I can't pinpoint.
Okay.
I think the UI is very customizable and much better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the themer. Like, my girlfriend themes everything she can theme to have butterflies and pink and cupcakes and sweet things.
That's why it's like perfect for you, because she's like the epitome of the 90s.
Well, for me, it's just gray, efficient, fast, speed, minimalist. Like, and I haven't even tweaked everything inside, like under the hood of my Firefox, and it's running okay. And my only issue is like the software update of Firefox. Like right now, it just showed up. See, Firefox 38.0.1. Like in Chrome, it's automatically updated.
Yeah.
But here, even if I say update Firefox, it doesn't update. I guess it's because the freaking thing, my old MacBook Pro, is too old that it can't handle the new update. I'm not sure.
It's because you're not on Linux. Because like...
Yeah. I mean, with the netbook, I don't have any problems with it.
Yeah.
So again, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, but then like for your network, I'd still say you should use something like Midori.
Because it's compact, more compact and lightweight.
Yeah, like it's faster. Like because you don't really use like too many plugins and stuff. Right?
I told you before that when I did some benchmark tests of mine for browsers, like I told you, Midori, man, that's the fastest thing. Weird. And then I should probably use Midori, but kind of like I mean.
But then Firefox is really good. I really love Firefox.
Yeah, but there are still times that, because I made my default browser to DuckDuckGo.
Yeah.
And I messaged you about this, like...
by the way, if you hear birds in the background, we're sorry. Yeah. These are AG's guard birds.
Different story, the guard birds. Have I fed them yet?
I'm sure we... Oh.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, guard birds. If you've seen that movie, The Birds, by Alfred Hitchcock, you'll see how deadly birds can be.
Yep. And those birds kill their own. A different story. Anyway.
We mentioned it on a Bodega Nights.
DuckDuckGo. Yeah. I like DuckDuckGo. It's a lot simpler than Google. The downside of DuckDuckGo, the search returns.
Yeah, that's one of those interesting things, and like this is a good transition into like some Richard Stallman sort of talk stuff period, because what was it? The thing about Google is the reason their search results are so good is because they track you like nothing else. Like, well, and they tend to crawl the web better and give you better.
And they have AdSense, like those search terms.
Yeah,
you could buy Google AdWords. I think if that's the term. I forgot. Norm knows these things
because he's been breaking sales records left and right. But yeah, that's part of what makes Google's results like so much better. I think is because they track you like nothing else, which is,
which brings you the question, or as a consumer, it gives you an option. Would you like something that tracks you, but at the same time gives you the results you need, or have something more simpler, more private for you, but it's a quite limited. But I don't think it's not that it's limited. It's just that the first things that you search for in Google is not the same search results that it returns with DuckDuckGo, but it's still there.
Yeah.
And sometimes I could live with that.
Well, the thing I really like about DuckDuckGo is like right at even before the first search results, the information is there.
Yeah. Like they show up in the a panel like that.
Yeah, like a Wikipedia entry or, a link to the IMDb page, like straight up.
Yeah.
And that's something that Google doesn't do as much.
You can use a plugin. But there you go. There you go. Again, if you add another plugin, that's gonna bloat so there's a compromise.
And another cool thing about DuckDuckGo, dude, is if you can get like if you have a cron tab, so you want to automate your whatever, and it, you need to add a line to your cron tab, like you can ask DuckDuckGo, cron tab, every 6th of the month at 12 noon or whatever, and then it's just gonna spit out the syntax for your cron job. Like when DuckDuckGo did that, like that's when I was sold.
But DuckDuckGo still does some of the things I like doing when it comes to Google, because sometimes I just search. Like yesterday, I had an interview with a Ukrainian online photography magazine. Like I had to know what's the time in Ukraine right now.
Yeah.
So just search what's the time in Ukraine, and then it's there. Like it also does some of those things like quick calculations. Dictionary returns and results. Like it pretty much does what I want it to do. And again, that's always my basic requirement.
Yeah.
In everything I use, if it does what I want it to do,
with like the least amount of massaging possible. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unlike in Chrome, sometimes you have to put some plugins and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like the only things I did, and my plugins are working properly, is it's not called it's not readability, but I had that similar thing. Readable and Pocket. That's like the two things I can't live without on a browser.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because Pocket is one of my favorite apps ever. Like every year they told me, you're a part of our 95% power users. Because you read like 10,000 pages of articles. What?
So you're the 99%.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure it's 10,000 pages, but it's like a high average of, like, I use Pocket because for some work when I'm browsing articles, and it's just, I love it. And if I could say, yeah, this is good, I'll save that and read that later while on commute or whatever. And that seamlessly integrates with Firefox. And at least for my OS X here in the MacBook Pro, I think I'm going to be using Firefox.
Get as much open software on that thing.
Yeah, that's actually what I'm going to point at. Like, now to point out what other open source software could I put in a very limited OS X.
As much as possible, Stallman approved.
Like yesterday during the interview, she was like, I can't figure out what's a good recording software. Try Audacity.
Yeah. Like it pretty much gets the job done. Like I was able to get a lot of the Christmas album for this year done on Audacity. Like a lot of the
just the remixing part.
Yeah, the mixing, even some of the like a lot of the recording because like I have more acoustic guitar work now, so you know, like that's Audacity. You can get it on that thing, right?
Here?
Yeah.
I have Audacity here.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I use when we record.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. So.
But I use the netbook while, like, say we're talking and searching and whatnot.
All right.
But right now our setup is you're the one recording, so I'm just here in case we need to look up something online.
Yeah.
On the very slow third world connection, internet connection.
There's like it feels like there's an entire like nationwide outage going on, dude. Like,
I don't want to say it, but I will say it because they're probably listening right now. China. War is imminent. I hope not, but
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you were mentioning earlier something about Richard Stallman. Like what was the thing that you read?
I just read it in passing, like the headlines and whatnot, that some of my IT friends who are not akin to Linux and whatnot, they were surprised because Richard Stallman claimed that iOS, Windows Mobile, what do they call themselves now?
I have no idea.
Yeah, whatever you want to call themselves now.
Android.
And even Android are pretty much just malware.
Well, I would argue that more than iOS, Android could be considered more like malware. It's straight up spyware, dude.
I mean, what do you expect from something coming from Google?
Yeah, it is straight up spyware.
That's why I'm a bit hesitant, like, oh, you should get the Android One phone. Really? The reason I'm sticking to my Firefox is do not track.
Yeah,
the Firefox OS, do not track. Like, either that or 3310.
Yeah.
Like, one of my friends in India, like, I posted that on Facebook and messaged me, if I could only have my 3310, I'd be using that.
Oh, you should have, yeah. I was about to buy a 3310 in Cebu. It's something like 400, 500 pesos.
Yeah.
Like,
go to a freaking Changge. One of them. And then ask for a 3310.
Yeah. I asked how much a 3310 was, and the lady was like laughing at me. She's like, what are you gonna do with that phone? I was like,
Snake.
Be free.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say snake. Be off the grid. But still on it.
Very much on the grid, man. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's it though. Like it is pretty much like spyware, dude. Like,
yeah, but what I found interesting most is because we're familiar with Stallman and his stance is very not militaristic. What's the term?
He's like extreme, dude.
Very extreme. Right. We are familiar with that. When we hear him spout those things, you're like, oh yeah, there he goes again. I mean, we're not dismissing him. It's just we know where he stands.
Yeah.
But someone in the tech world, and for someone who made a bit of noise by claiming those things, everyone was surprised. You're like, dude, just look at the frame of reference here. Like what they're doing is pretty much just tracking everything.
Yeah, so like,
and what is tracking everything but?
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's malware. Yeah, man. And like, I really do think that we need somebody like Stallman in our camp, even though we don't like agree with what he says 100%, because you know, we actually do use non-free hardware.
Right now, what are in front of our faces?
A MacBook with Arch on it.
I'm fine. I have a tablet here. Shout
out with malware on it.
With a malware tablet.
You know, like
I just installed UFC.
Like one of the things I love about one of the things I really like about Debian is they have the non-free repository. Like that was a thing that they did. Like they all took a vote on it, and like, should we have non-free software because and free is in speech, right? Because like everything there is free as in beer. And this was some time ago where they all took a vote, and overwhelmingly the people sort of running Debian, the community, were all like, yeah, we should have like a non-free repo that you separate out. That way, if you don't want to have non-free software, you can just leave it out. But if you do want non-free software, so say like a Broadcom driver or your NVIDIA drivers, you just add that line to your sources.list file. And that's something I love about Debian. Like, they give you that choice. Like, do you want to have all free and open source software, or do you want to have proprietary software? Right? But then that is precisely the reason that Debian isn't Stallman approved. Because you have the option to have non-free software on it. And
But it's just an option.
Yeah.
It becomes Stallman not approved when you go to that, when you access that repo.
Oh no, that's the thing about Stallman that makes him kind of weird.
Yeah.
Or that makes him extreme or militaristic, as you put it. It's that just because they have the choice, it becomes non-free.
Oh.
Because remember how developers what's his name? Balmer. Remember how Balmer said that open source is
in the NBA Western Conference semifinals. Developers. Anyway,
but yeah, it's like you have how he said that open source is a cancer, and it's like the existence there is like cancerous. If you take the exact opposite stance, that's Stallman.
Yeah,
like the mere presence of proprietary software is detrimental, right? So, I think the reason that the fundamental reason that we disagree with Richard Stallman is because he doesn't seem to believe in choice. Like he doesn't want us to make the wrong decision.
Yeah, Kim Jong Stallman.
But then no, because like he does do like a lot of good though.
Kim Jong Stallman for the good of the everybody in North Korea loves. Anyway, but kidding aside and geopolitical jokes aside, yeah. I tend to agree with Stallman when he presents it in such a way that when he presents an idea of how this can immediately turn bad. Yeah. But it's always doomsday scenario to him. Then that's where we go, really?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the same way that like bringing American politics into this. It's the same way that the right needs Fox News and the left needs people like Bill Maher. What's his name? Mm-hmm. Like that. Yeah, I totally forgot his name.
Who?
Bill something. No, dude, CNN is sort of in the middle, man. Like talking extreme left.
MSNBC. No, not MSNBC.
Yeah. Like there's this one show. Bill Maher.
Bill Maher.
Bill Maher. Yeah.
Bill Maher.
Like he's really all the way on the left. So like you need Bill Maher and you need Glenn Beck.
Or O'Reilly.
Yeah. Like you need the extremes to know that there's a middle.
Yeah. To give you that perspective of going through the middle.
Yeah.
And I guess that's where we thread along. And for those who are not familiar with Richard Stallman, I think that's where they should have that. Like, I hope they don't dismiss him. They look at him and what he says is like, you have a point, but.
Yeah, you have a point, but. It's, or maybe it's just like me being too like Aristotelian when it comes to, like you've read Nico Mackay and Ethics, right?
Yeah.
Like how bravery is the midpoint between being brash and being a coward.
Yeah. Good God. Political thought.
Yeah.
This is gonna be an interesting off-tangent section.
But it was courage. I think the word courage is between brashness and cowardice. And like you need to have those two extremes. That way, what a good mid-ground is. And we sort of need that, I think. We need people that are like extreme in order for us to be able to find the middle.
Yeah. Still wish though that, it's nice that we have extreme people, but I think open source world still needs a good PR type of person.
Mark Shuttleworth, man.
But he's no Elon Musk.
Well, yeah. He's thinking of what's it? He is thinking of going public with Ubuntu. Or Canonical.
Huh.
Like, he mentioned it in an interview in passing or something that, like, he's thinking of, bringing, like setting up an IPO or whatever.
Interesting.
Right? Like, that could be,
interesting.
thing, right? because of their cloud offerings, their idea of snappy package, like they're pretty strong in the cloud, right? Like if you look at a lot of the cloud deployments, a lot of them are Ubuntu. And so he's thinking of going public with that.
Interesting. And we might see Bitcoin being used to buy those stocks.
I wouldn't know. Yeah, that's
that for me is the interesting thing that will happen there. Because the tech world is not just ruled by Silicon Valley. Of course.
Now it's South Africa. So we're going. So if that goes according to plan, we're going to have another like big company that's publicly listed, that has its roots in open source software. So somebody to go up against Red Hat in a way, and hopefully get to that $1 billion. Like Red Hat is now $1 billion company or something.
Yeah.
So like, wow, okay. And in other news, concerning companies and stuff, what was the name of that? The distribution sort of family that we never really got into, because this was like after we got into Linux. Mandriva. Mandriva, that's the company behind Mandriva is shutting down.
Ooh.
And I'm sure like a lot of because apparently, Mandrake was like the best Linux distro like in the late 90s.
Yeah.
Right. I was never, I was probably too young to even care at the time. But, a lot of the older guys have like a lot of happy feelings.
Or the reminisce.
Yeah, like they reminisce.
Days of old.
Like this was before Yum made RPMs usable.
That long.
Apparently they had like the best distro then. So, wow, we got really corporate, dude. Like Ubuntu, thinking about an IPO and being a publicly listed company. I'd buy stock there.
I'm thinking, we'll see. Let's see what their like initial promises to investors and
if
and how the IPO, what's the worth?
Yeah,
when they release. Are they gonna ring the bell?
I have no idea.
I hope they ring the bell.
Always be closing. Oh man, that's good though. Like, it's good.
It's continuous development. Man.
Yeah,
it's continuous development. Because it's nice if the company is grounded on that rather than just using open source technologies. It's nice that something is really just purely open source.
You know what I find really interesting though, like as like the open source like community, we have this sort of distrust for I don't know, maybe it's just me being a punk, but like there's this big distrust for big corporations, but like if you study corporate law and corporation law, the most transparent thing really is to be a publicly listed company.
Yeah, because you have to
disclose your financial statements.
Exactly.
You have to,
I've scoured a bunch of annual reports.
Yeah, right. So it's like
for my other day job.
Yeah, so that's something that I find really interesting. That yeah, or maybe it's just like the conflict.
No, the distrust is in the business practices, not so much the numbers.
Okay,
because you can see there, our risk management strategy right now is we're allotting 75% of the current expense to whatever, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then you only see a statistic.
Right.
You're not gonna see somebody's, you're not gonna see 5,000 people laid off just to make money off that 75%.
Yeah, but then isn't that the same with like any business though? And the difference between like a publicly listed company and a private, and a PLC, wait, what was it? And a private company is, with the private company, you can do that without having to disclose.
Oh yeah. I guess there's just especially nowadays, the distrust with the big corporations because of what they do and what they represent. But at the end of the day, if it's gonna get funding for your open source projects, why not? And the hope is always, at least for me, and I'm always optimistic when it comes to big businesses, is that it will trickle down.
Oh, you right wing, not you.
That's always my hope. It always trickles down. Yeah. Does it happen? That's all I can say.
Oh, speaking of trickling down, going back to Red Hat, dude. Red Hat is assigning one of its developers, like one of its full-time developers, to work on the Nouveau driver.
Oh.
So, like, we're going to be getting a better open source driver. Like a better open source video driver. And we need more of that.
Especially if we're gonna enter full-time gaming.
Yeah, yeah. Because, like, you know, the NVIDIA driver is, yeah, fine, but then, you know, we need something Stallman approved as well.
Exactly.
So that would be the Nouveau driver. Which I use. Yeah. And it can get pretty hot sometimes.
Thus, thank you, Red Hat, for putting resources.
Yeah.
Again, that's what happens when you have big corporations putting people to work. It trickles down.
Yeah. Like you do sort of need a big company behind, big open source projects.
Yeah.
Or at least, because, like, we sure as hell aren't funding. Like, you know.
Because for some reason that we have to accept. Again, I guess that's why it's not Stallman approved. It's gotta be a thing now. Like, Stallman approved.
Yeah, that's the nomenclature that a lot of podcasters use, which is why I brought it up. Like, yeah, we're now like using the nomenclature of Linux podcasters. Stallman approved.
Yeah, that's why things are not Stallman approved, is because, you know, but we have to accept the fact that funding has to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Because we sure as hell don't, because, you know, the donation strategies are not working.
Yep. Again, it devalues the software. We talked about this on Bodega Nights when Norm dropped out.
Like, it devalues the software and the content. So, I mean, that's why I always push for, like, a better model is, like, more of a Patreon type. Where you're subscribed, rather than
like a one-time payment,
payment
20
and then
pesos,
you're done. Yeah, something that you're subscribed, because development doesn't stop.
Yeah,
it's always continuous, and you have to allot
continuous.
time.
So that's where Steve Ballmer got it right, by yelling developers over and over and over and over again. Because developers.
If only he could will his team to
victory.
He made some of the best faces in that playoff series. Like, he doesn't have hair and he's trying to grab his hair. Gotta love that guy and why he entered the freaking NBA.
Because, man, the Clippers really weren't very much.
Yeah.
But then, you know, it's been a while.
No, but I mean, we're moving to off-tangent section.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the news in the past 2 weeks, and that's
that isn't very much news. I'm sure there's been a lot more.
There's been a lot. I mean, come on. What else does it reach here, right?
Yeah. Well, Richard Stallman, man, he was here. You know.
Yeah, I was here.
But again, it felt like I'm pretty sure that, you know, the people that showed up were people that sort of believed in the Stallman stuff anyway.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of it is preaching to the choir, so I don't know.
We'll see. That's why, again, going back, the need for, what do you call this? A good PR person that we could represent or push.
Yeah.
Like,
it was supposed to be you, John O'Bacon. But John O'Bacon was really good, though. He was good.
Just like bacon. Harkens back to an old joke we had. Good. Like bacon.
Yeah, you know. Or Brian Lunduk, you know. Yeah.
Lunduk, because people would actually still think twice, like, is he serious right now? He's not like a bastion of hope.
Yeah, that's John O'Bacon, dude. Like, that could be John O'Bacon.
We'll see when they go public.
Well, he's not with Canonical anymore, though.
Yeah. No, but again, he's gonna be a good representative, even though if he's not Canonical anymore.
Like,
he's
for
got
the
that
open
voice.
source.
Yeah, for the community. Say if he engages into a good project and makes developments for it. That's why I'm looking for our Elon Musk.
Musky.
Musky. Like a good perfume.
Yeah, so what does everybody out in internet land think?
You could shout out your opinions to twitter.com/thirdworldlinux.
Just head over to channel14.com, channel FOURTEN.
Yeah, everything is over there. Email us if you want to do it the traditional way.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, email is now the traditional way.
Yeah. Contact at channel14.com, right? What?
Check out our other shows.
Yeah, on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Now we have like this whole. I have this whole like spiel now, but then like a call to action or whatever in the spirit of open source. I have a little notebook in front of me. So like subscribe on your favorite podcatcher. Give us a review. What was it like? I was listening to another podcast and they were like, if you like us, give us a good review on iTunes or whatever podcatcher you're on. If you don't like it, just email us and we'll improve.
If you want to support the show, we have Amazon links.
Yeah, although I'm not sure if they're still active.
I don't know. I think my sister bought some books.
Oh, cool. So we have like 2 cents now.
Probably.
What else? YouTube/user/channel14. And if you're listening to us on YouTube, like and subscribe.
Yeah. Watch out for the Let's Plays as well.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Made it this far. This is the off tangent section.
Hey.
Now we just had such a good discussion about geopolitics and the American military complex and the reunification of North and South Korea.
And the USS George Washington about to head here in the Philippine Islands.
Yep.
Is it the George Washington?
No idea.
But yeah,
ending world hunger.
Finding alternative sources of energy. Defeating global warming. Stuff like that.
Yeah. Ending violence against women.
What? I'm gonna search USS George Washington. Speaking of George Washington, I kind of dig this new series in History Channel. Sons of Liberty.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
you know how I
TV.
don't watch TV at all, right? Which is kind of weird because I've been watching like a lot of pool again, like on YouTube.
Pool?
Billiards ba?
Yeah, I know that's your sport.
Yeah, I've been watching like a lot of it on YouTube again. And I'm thinking like, okay, so, I want to see if I can
still play it.
Oh, well, watch it on like ESPN or whatever because it's a couple of months back, right? Because
of course.
Yeah. Man, that sport. It's been so long.
Yeah. Since Johnny's closed down, like, where else?
Yeah.
I mean, that's very 2001 when you have a pool hall every 5 blocks in Manila.
Yeah. It's like, wow. Like the up and coming players, that like, when I was like really watching, the up and coming players are now like the top players.
Oh.
So say like in the Philippines, like Dennis Orculio, Livan Corteza.
No, Livan Corteza. Freaking A, it's been a long time since I heard that name. They're now the ones on top of their game.
Yeah, the Americans, what's the name of that deaf guy? God, what was his name? He's deaf. Shane Van Boning.
Van Boning.
Right? Like, top players.
Yeah. Strickland is still playing.
Well, yeah, Strickland still plays, but like all the legends. Well, no, because like Mike Siegel would be the legends, but like the guys like Reyes, Bustamante, Earl Strickland,
and who's the British dude? Welsh. Forgot. Anyway,
the top British player now is this bald guy. He looks a lot like Bok.
Only white.
Yeah, there's Darren Appleton. Like he's tearing up the scene now. Yeah, but they're like the British though. They weren't really like pool players, right? Like they like a lot of them. Yeah, a lot of them end up being snooker stars, and the guys that end up becoming like the best British pool players now are the guys that start off with British 8-ball.
Oh yeah,
or English 8-ball. I forgot what it's called, but it's like you have yellow and red balls, smaller table, and an 8-ball.
No holes. Oh no, it's a different game.
That's carom. Yeah. So like the guys that play English 8-ball are the guys that ended up becoming like the best British players for like 9-ball, 10-ball. Although there was a time when like the great snooker players ended up doing a lot of pools. So like your Ronnie O'Sullivans, your Steve Davis.
I think
like,
Steve Davis is the one. Anyway.
Yeah. Like Daryl Peach.
Yeah, like there was a time before here, at least in the Philippines, that every time the World 9-ball Open in Wales happened, like they televised it.
Yeah. And then it was in Manila.
Yeah, and then there was a time that they did it in Manila.
There was a time it was in Manila. There was a time I think it was in Taiwan.
Yeah, because no, not Fong Pang Chao. But like because one Chinese player was tearing the entire thing off.
That was probably Fong Pang Chao. Like that guy is like if we have Efren Reyes, they have Fong Pang Chao.
It's like smooth.
Yeah, he was like, and you know, going like looking at it again, like wow. You know, the Taiwanese still have like the Taiwanese still have that same sort of like robotic style where they have like the perfect stroke, it's perfectly straight, you know. Like the Filipinos still have that really loose style where like really you're
just playing at somebody's pool hall in your neighborhood.
But like when you look at the stroke, right? Like traditionally, like if you read books, they always tell you that your stroke has to be a straight line from the back of your cue all the way to that contact point on the cue ball. So you pull it back and then you like
it has to be straight.
It has to be perfectly straight with good follow through.
But for us, it's like curving.
Yeah, the Filipinos have this really curvy like I have no idea how Francisco Bustamante does it.
Yeah,
because he has like this really weird looking oscillation in his cueing motion. But like,
and his what do you call it? His break is freaking strong.
Yeah. Well, no, the 9-ball championships now are in Doha.
And I'm not surprised.
I was watching though, like hardly anybody was in attendance.
Oh
like,
man!
Wow. Is this because it's Doha? Like they don't have very much
prestige, or they just Qatar and like the Middle East is everyone's like inviting sports events.
Yeah, but then like I'm not sure though because there weren't very many people in attendance. Was it because there just isn't that much interest there, or is it because like the tickets were too expensive? Because like the royalty was there, like the royalty was in attendance, but you know you didn't have insane cheering when you know Mika Immonen made this really insane like you know. A kick or whatever.
Like contrast to, I think it was Ronnie Alcano with the soft break.
Yeah, that was like what 2007 or something.
Yeah,
like that soft break. Wow.
Which like everybody's like, and he was up against Strickland. Strickland also breaks like freaking madman.
Yeah,
and then you see Ronnie Alcano.
Chill. Are there like really weird rules now with like the World Cup of Pool? There's this like interesting rule they have with the break where you have to get at least 3 object balls to the like you break on the like you break below the second diamond or whatever, right? Like there's that line that people draw, right? You have to get 3 balls there,
or it turns to the opponent.
Yeah.
Darn.
Right? So
you have to have strong breaks.
Yeah. Or you have to get where and like if you sink a ball on the break, it counts as one of those 3 balls.
Ah, okay.
So if you get 2 balls on the break and one makes it past that head string, then like you're good.
So they're encouraging like a faster paced game.
They're encouraging stronger breaks. At least with that one. At least with that particular tournament. It's really weird. Like, I don't see a soft break, but I really like that soft, like, cut break.
Yeah. Because you're going for precision instead of strength.
Yeah, and
but do they still have the rules wherein, like, I'm not sure if it's during a break that every ball must hit the wall?
Yeah, that's I really love that rule.
Yeah.
Where unless you sink a ball, you have to hit a cushion after you make the
initial hit.
Yeah. Like that makes for
really interesting play.
Yeah.
It's not just placement that you're after, it has to hit the wall.
Yeah, like with safety play.
Yeah.
It discourages lazy safety play.
Like, boop, I'm just gonna put it in behind, not even hitting anything.
Yeah. That's but then like they don't have the rule with snooker because the snooker tables are much bigger. Yeah. So I'm not like ragging on snooker players saying that you guys have bad safety play.
But they have to sink a lot more balls.
Yeah, snooker players are, that's a totally different discipline. Like
exactly. Exactly. So it's different. Like you have to hit this color and then the red and then.
Yeah.
So it's a different discipline altogether aside from like say 9 pool where you just have to finish and sink 9.
Yeah. Although like people are really into 10 ball now, which is weird. Which is sort of like 9 ball except 10 balls. And you have to call the pockets, I think.
But do they still have like, I call it the 3 knockdown rule. I don't know what it's really called. Like to be able to count that you get the rack or that table is if you can make your opponent commit 3 errors.
Yeah, 3 foul rule.
The 3 foul rule.
Not very many people do that because like people have gotten so good at kicking. Like unless they're encouraging, at least with the World Cup of Pool, they're encouraging a good spread of balls, right? Mm-hmm. Because of
it's harder to pull that off.
It's harder to have good safety, like these crazy safety battles, which is why I like the soft break. Like it you have more clumps.
And for me, that's what's interesting about pool. That it can become a chess match.
Yeah.
Like strategize, okay, this is the placement of the balls.
Yeah.
How can I make my opponent commit errors so that at least it will turn to me?
Yeah. But then that isn't like 9 ball though. Uh-huh. Like 9 ball is all about like crazy 3 cushion positioning and all of that stuff. Games like snooker encourage more safety chess matches pretty much. But like 9 ball, 10 ball, they encourage you to break and run. And
you have that flow.
Yeah.
Cause like I think it's the scorer who gets the table, right?
Depends.
Like depends on the tournament.
Yeah, it's like you have winner breaks and alternating breaks. Yeah.
But what's your preference? Alternate breaks or winner breaks?
Depends on how long the race is. If it's a race to 5, alternating breaks all the way.
A race to 7.
Alternate.
But there are some like
breaks.
Race to 17.
Yeah, race to 17. I wouldn't mind having a winner break because like you get to see these crazy like strings of racks,
and then it becomes an endurance play, right?
Yeah,
like you're on your 11th rack. How long can you keep this going?
Yeah, like you have like what was that thing? It was called it was the Color of Money, which was Efren Reyes against Earl Strickland in like a race to 100 or something.
What?
Like
what's that? Like
a few days.
A Le Mans type billiard.
You just keep on playing for like a few days, and
Speaking of fine. Billiards is not a weird sport, but you know what? A weird sport I'm watching right now.
Croquet.
No, that's too much. Monster Jam.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. Because we have Fox Sports.
Right.
So in between NBA and whatnot, Monster Jam, like, Gravedigger. The thing I like about Monster Jam is like awesome, huge trucks, right? And people are fanatic in such a way that it's like watching wrestling.
Yeah.
It's weird. And then I get the race when they have to do like their quick sprint races or quick obstacle races. I still don't get how you score the freestyle.
I mean, like,
there's just an obstacle course. You jump the ramps, you do backflips, you do donuts.
But
like, I don't get how it's scored. Like for skateboarding, we know how it's scored.
Well,
like a vert run.
I was gonna say maybe it's like skateboarding.
Exactly, but we know. Okay, that has good air. Okay, he didn't waste walls.
Yeah.
Like we know those things when we watch skateboarding vert,
right?
Or even street sometimes. like if he's got a good flow, very technical.
Yeah.
He's using all of the cores.
Yeah.
But for freestyle, a Monster Jam, I don't get how they score it. And there's this concept of bonus time. Like you have a 1 minute run.
Yeah.
That you could score as much or can do as much in the 1 minute. And then, each of the competitors have a bonus time of, I think, 30 seconds. Where it will add up. Well, what you have, say you score 25 points on your main time, like that 1 minute. And then you go to your bonus time and say you score 5 points. So your total is now 30.
Okay.
So I really don't get, maybe I should look up how Monster Jam is scored.
Yeah.
But some of the things they could do with those trucks are amazing. Like, there was a double backflip on a freaking truck. On a freaking a ton truck. It could do double backflips. Like, I'd be insane as well when I see that live. Like, oh, Gravedigger. No, it was a Canadian who did that. Of all things. Like
a double,
a double backflip on a truck. Like, yeah, I mean, motocross can do that, but a freaking monster truck.
Like, next thing we're going to see, we'll see like vert ramps and stuff.
And they have amazing, like, if the truck, say, careens out of control, all trucks have like an automatic kill switch that it's not inside the truck.
Okay.
Those outside the truck are the control of the automatic kill switch. Like, say it's careening out of control or you're landed badly, they could turn off the kill switch, kills the truck.
Okay.
But that doesn't count as like a deduction. It just stops the clock as well so that you can reposition if your truck is still able to do so. Yeah. Like, for me, that's an interesting thing because they do it inside stadiums.
Yeah.
That's, again, another insane thing about Monster Truck. Huge trucks! House-sized trucks! Inside a freaking stadium.
I'm gonna have to watch that now.
Yeah. And I mean, that's why I was telling my sister, can you score me tickets to the Monster Truck show happening here? Because, like, one of my favorite trucks when I'm watching is Maximum Destruction, and Gravedigger. They're gonna go here and like, oh, I need a picture of those. I need to have them signed by the Andersons. Like, ooh, I need to have it signed.
Or buy trucks for your car. Sign my trucks. Oh, no, skateboards. Skateboards. Sorry, skateboards. Yeah, sign my trucks.
Jesus. We need StarCraft in our lives again.
Well, you know, I'm happy. I'm happy
watching as well. But you know, at least a sport that we both watch. Where's the next Brood War Star League? I'm looking it up because I kind of miss it though. Like, especially now that.
Well, I should watch
Love TV Star League.
Whoa.
When is this happening? Brood War 3.0.
And is Sale going to be commentating?
I'm not sure. I haven't subscribed. I haven't checked this channel in the longest time. Oh man, this was August 28th. So, it's probably this coming August we're gonna see another Star League. Did you watch this one?
What?
Love Star League Season 3.
No.
Brood War. Here's the players, for the Terrans. Mine. Haya. Piano. Mong. Sharp. Haya is playing. It's worth watching, man.
Who are the Zergs? That's what I'm interested in.
Killer. Larva. Zero, man. Modesty and Hero.
Which hero?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I click. Okay, for the Protoss, Shuttle, Pure, Snow, Movie, Free, Pusan, Kimchi, and Lazy. It's Terrans versus Zerg, man.
Yep.
Those are good, man.
Yeah, Zero and Larva.
Oh, Hero, as an actual by Hero.
Okay. Because Hero is like one of the most used names in StarCraft. Like, which is why I really love Jaedong. Like, he's one of the only guys out there that actually uses his name. Yeah. Like,
man, Haya's playing.
I miss watching that guy play, dude.
Yeah.
That fish.
Hype. But yeah, I mean, let's see in 2015, if we're gonna have Brood War still.
I'm saying, man, StarCraft 2 isn't that bad.
I know, but you know.
It's not... It's not to the level of Brood War, but like it's not that bad.
10th, Sonic Star League.
There we go. SSL. Come on.
Yeah.
That's the one that I want to follow.
Yeah. Like aside from the other Star League, the Love Star League. I want to see when the date is so that we can follow.
Yeah.
So for 2015, we should be watching at the that 11th year. Right now it's a 10th year. So we'll still see, but because that attracts like Bisou.
Yeah, exactly.
Although the price pool of year one is not bad, $50,000.
Dollars? Okay.
Yeah. Not one.
Yeah, because 50,001 is like nothing.
But yep, internet connection is failing me right now. It's a bit slow.
That's going to be like the content of the off tangent for like a good few months.
Yeah.
Dude, did you see Bisou?
Oh my god, that play!
I like the map.
And the thing is, I guess the reason why I'm not into StarCraft 2 is I haven't played it.
Yeah.
Because the reason why we got into Brood War is because bring back the 90s. Oh, look. Bro.
It was really funny though, like what happened with us, right? Like StarCraft, the reason I started playing StarCraft Brood War again was because of StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
Right?
Because we were like bracing ourselves, like, yeah, this is gonna be awesome. This is gonna be the same. That's our expectations. Like, updated graphics, all these things.
And then when they released StarCraft 2, no LAN. Let's continue playing Brood War. That was so good. It was my little brother, dude. It was my little brother that got us into this. I distinctly remember one day. Like one day I went back to Cebu for like Christmas break or something, and as I was walking into like the house or something, I heard like, ready to roll out. Like, bro, you playing StarCraft? He's like, yeah, here, I'll give you a copy.
Dude, Sonic Star League had the 128-man elimination.
Damn.
Yeah. That was last year though. I mean, the announcement started in April. I'm not sure if there's an 11th Sonic Star League. But that's 128-man elimination. That's still a lot of players.
Yeah, dude.
And Bisou is one of the people who got in. 11th Sonic Star League. Here we go. That's to be held